Welcome to another episode of Sydney Birding Hotspots. On our last episode, we visited a couple of sites around Manly. Now we're going to head a little bit further up the northern beaches and visit a few sites around Dee Why, starting with a quick visit to the North Curl Rockpool. Sydney beaches are famous for their rock pools, with at least 35 of them found throughout the coast. North Curl Rockpool was built in 1937, on top of a natural rock pool that already existed. In 1947, the pool was destroyed by heavy seas, and it was rebuilt 10 years later. The day I came, a rare visitor to the Sydney region was here. A black Noddy. Must have been blown here during a recent storm. As well as the Noddy, a few other regular species can also be found here. The northern beaches have many beautiful coastal cliff walks. While walking along the cliffs, keep your eyes open, you might see some birds nestled among the cliff faces. Even though I was quite well camouflaged while photographing and filming the Peregrine Falcon and its chicks, I did make sure I only spent a very few brief minutes with the bird, so as not to disturb it nesting. We're now heading a little bit further north to a favourite place of many. We came here on one of my very first videos, but it's worth visiting again to see what different birds we can find. There's a really good number of seabirds you can find at Long Reef Headland. One of the more common ones, and definitely the one with the best hairstyle, is the great crested tern. Long Reef is one of the best places in Sydney to see 4 of Australia's 5 cormorant species. Here's photos of all 4 cormorants I've got in similar poses, with the pied cormorant top left, the little pied cormorant top right, the little black cormorant bottom left, and the great cormorant bottom right. Redneck stints are very wary of people and can be tricky to get photos of. Best solution is hide behind some rocks so they don't see you. On this particular visit, I had my best ever views of a grey-tailed tattler. These shorebirds breed in northeast Siberia, and during the northern winter they travel down to Southeast Asia and Australia. These tattlers feed, usually during the daytime, on worms, mollusks, crustaceans, insects and occasionally fish. They also like small crabs. Let's hope for this crab's safety it's not spotted by the grey-tailed tattler. Now let's leave the shore and head back up to the car park and see what birds we can find on the way to the car. Australia has many species of awesome parrots. Some you need to travel to the far reaches of the outback to find, and some, like these galahs, you can just find in our local parks and gardens. Just as I was leaving Long Reef, I spotted an osprey flying overhead. It looked like it was heading to Dee Why Lagoon. So let's head there and see if we can find it. There's a couple of trails I like to explore around the lagoon. The first one is quite short, but does have a number of birds you can find. Having trouble determining the difference between a female variegated and superb fairy wren? Look at the lores of the feathers around the eyes. The variegated has chestnut coloured lores, where the superb has a lighter rufous coloured lores. Here we get a really good look at a grey butcher bird, and we can clearly see the hook on the tip of its bill. These birds use these hooks to skewer their food onto twigs or thorns, and then hold it steady while they dismember the carcass. It's this behaviour that earned the bird the butcher name. And one last bird I spotted on this walk was this beautiful white-cheeked honeyeater. The second trail we'll walk down actually leads to the lagoon. But on our way there, we see a massive pile of decomposing vegetation. There's only one bird that could make this. Australian brush turkey mounds can be quite enormous, measuring up to 4 metres wide and 1.5 metres high. Leaving the brush turkeys alone, we'll head out onto the actual lagoon. Depending which season you come, the lagoon can be either full of water, or like today, pretty much empty. There's nowhere to hide out here, so wherever you go, the birds are going to be able to see you. Still, there were a couple of species I could spot in the distance. And finally, we did get to find that osprey. Ospreys can be found throughout the world, and in fact they're the second most widely distributed raptor species, after the peregrine falcon. And another interesting fact about the osprey is osprey and owls are the only raptors whose outer toe is reversible, allowing them to grasp their prey with 2 toes in front and 2 toes behind. This is very helpful when they are trying to grab slippery fish.